Welcome to another episode, a very special episode of Talking with WIT Kevin and Son, brought to you by RMK Productions and the 10 United Podcast Network. Our mission, through the power of story, we are designed to inspire, share experience and perspectives using the framework of teaching, learning, and modeling. Our purpose is hope. This episode is special because I am talking to a hometown boy, Mr. Stephen Hollander. He comes from humble beginnings, a small town here in Phoenixville. He has great parents. He graduated with honors. He is a humanitarian and a standout athlete. He is now going through his first year of his college experience, not only as an academic, but also as a football player at James Madison University. This is part two of the real world college life of Stephen Hollander. Thank you for coming and doing part two. How you doing? How's school life?
School's going good, man. I feel like there's a lot of different aspects of my life. There's my school life, there's my athletic life, and there's my social life. And then there's also like my personal life. So there's like stuff that I do on my own. So like it's been tough to balance them all out, but I think I'm doing pretty well.
Well, you know something, you set up your own introduction a lot better than I would have. So let's go ahead and talk about those three points. Let's talk about athletic life, because that was my first question to ask you, because I know it was like for me, transition from high school football to college football. James Madison University is a D1 school. It's ranked, I think, number 25. You so
We were ranked, not anymore, but we'll get back up there.
All right, all right. So there's a lot of young people that's going to be following your footsteps, going to some university, be it one of the Big Ten, Division I schools, two, or so forth, but are going to don on that uniform on another level. Tell me the difference between playing high school football and college football, the ups and downs.
Hey man, well to start off, I think the big one is hey, this is a business. Like in college football, JMU football, when you get to Division I level, it's a business, man. You're like you gotta think of it as you gotta show up to work every day, you gotta put your product out there, and pretty much that.
All right, internet just grabbed Mr. Hollander, so hopefully it will reconnect and we'll go back to the business.
Did, am I good?
Yeah, the internet grabbed you for a little bit. You were talking
Gotcha.
about the business.
My connection's a little unstable now, but let me know if something happens.
All right, no,
Anyway, though, um, I mean, like the coaches, I think the big thing is the coaches aren't going to stop for you, and they're not going to want to stop for you or for anything. They don't respect you. Well, they respect you, but not like athletically. Um, I mean, really, like everything here is just how can we win as a program? Like everybody's focused on the program doing well, and it's no individual stuff. Like you're not getting individually praised, rarely. Um, it's a lot of like, let's get the team to become the best team that we can be, so we can bring in the most
revenue.
revenue, and then the coaches can essentially just keep their jobs, man, because this is how they're putting their food on the table. So for them, it's like, all right, can I trust you to play? If I can trust you to play, then I'm gonna play you. If I can't trust you, then I can't play you, because you're not gonna play somebody who's basically your financial situation depends on. But I think that's like the main difference between high school and college football is the fact that like, man, it's a job, and is you're working like this is work. You
That
know
I
what I mean?
understand. And believe it or not, when people ask me about my book, and I know this interview is not about me, but you
For
touched on a
sure.
conversation I had, indispensable gains of X's and O's. They said, why did you write about everything you learned about football or life you learned playing high school football? And I said the same thing you're saying. It's a different world. It is a business. All right.
Yeah.
And if you're producing at the level they want, then you stay. If you're not, there's nothing about, talking about issues and whatever. That's one of the reasons why, I've been following Deion Sanders. And one of the things that he's, his praise is it's a business, but he's also developing men. And I don't know what the relationship is with players and coaches, but that's the way academics has translated into sports. In the university, a lot of them bring in, a quarter of their revenue through the football programs.
Mhm.
But with that said, what about your relationships with your teammates? Is that a business, or are those relationships developing in the same line that it did in high school?
I think for me, I think it's not as much of a business. I think the relationships with your teammates are a lot more genuine. Um, but I don't like I don't know how to describe it, but because I'm a walk on and I came here late, I don't have the close relationships that were built over the summertime and basically spending every moment together. So I don't have those close net relationships yet with the team. So for me, my relationships with the team is like they're like my coworkers, but with some of the guys I'm closer with, it's a little more genuine.
All right, those relationships will come. I've been in your shoes, so I know what it's like. Um, and it will get better. It will get better.
Mm.
So let's transition away from the gridiron, and let's talk about Stephen Hollander, the student, and we'll end with your personal life and how you're adjusting to that. So let's talk about academics, being an athlete, student athlete, and how are you adjusting? Tell us a little bit about the highs and lows of being at James Madison University just as a student.
I think, well, JMU's academics, their education is very high ranked, and they take pride, and the professors take pride in their education. So there's quite a lot of workload. Um, College is difficult, man. Like I got a lot more work than I had in college I've ever had in my entire life. Um, but I mean, we got to get it done though. Like as a, and the other thing too is because the professors see on their like pamphlet under my name, they see a student athlete football player. Some professors automatically think that I'm destined to fail. So there's a lot of professors that are just like, oh, he's just another like idiot football player, just gonna not show up to my class, stuff like that. But that's not who I am. I really take pride in like learning and doing well in class. Just from, I guess Malvern taught me a lot about that. But um, I really take pride in my academics. I want to do well in school. I want to get good grades. I want to have a high GPA. Because I feel like that type of stuff will allow me to not only stand out um, as a person and have my own identity, just grown individual. I'm here for college, or here for my education for to begin with, but it also helped me stand out to the coaches when they have their academic meetings with my academic advisor for football, because they can say, "Oh, who's this kid with the 3.5 GPA? Like I've never seen that before." And then my name is automatically in their head when they're going through it like that. But I mean, it took some time to get used to. I'm in a good rhythm, and yeah, I'm in a good rhythm with it all now, though.
So let me say this and give you some advice, because
Okay.
we talked about diversity and
Mm,
your experience here in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Talked about diversity in the program that you've had at your undergraduate
mm,
in high school. So let me tell you about diversity as a athlete, a student athlete. You are always going to have that prejudice or that bias because
mm,
you're doing something that no one else can do, and that's to wear that uniform and represent that university as a student athlete. The one
mm,
thing that I know about you personally is that looking into your eyes, you've got the will to win, not only win as an athlete, but as a human being. and no one can take that away from you. Don't ever let anyone change your attitude just because of their own prejudice. And there's prejudice on all types of level. So, you know, the reason why we're doing this is because you are a strong example of what resilience looks like as a freshman. And I'm sure that, you know, when we do this going into your sophomore and junior year, the Stephen Hollander story will probably be one of the most fantastic stories that's ever been told, because we'll go from the beginning. Your teammates, your coaches, and people will rally around you. And if not at this university, there may be a university that says, you know, you belong to this program, and you'll find some place where you wear that uniform and you'll feel at home in it. Trust me, I know what it's like to walk on that stadium, that football field, and before you come out of that tunnel, you look around and you'll take it in, and that's going to be a feeling that's going to happen to you throughout the rest of your life. So it's a challenge juggling all the balls. Your freshman year is the toughest year. That first quarter normally breaks the average student. So your resilience is
Not gonna break me.
it's not going to break you, and that's the reason why we have it. Say it again. Is what?
It's not gonna break me.
You
I'll
know
bend but never break.
you know I'm a coach. I need to hear it 3 times. Say what?
It's not gonna break me, man. It's not gonna break me. You can bend me however much you want, but I promise you, I'm never gonna snap.
And I'm going to hold you to that, Mr. Stephen Hollander.
I
But
got you.
how are you juggling your personal life? Because it's there's not enough hours in the day for you to be all the things that your university wants you to be and still become a human being. How are you juggling that?
Um, I feel like I have a lot of time like for myself, and that's kind of what my weekends are. Just like take time for myself, go do like my chores, get my laundry done, go shopping, whatever I need to do. Just do chores and pretty much I clean the room, tidy myself up, study, train, stuff like that. Just tidy up my living area, get ready for the week.
Your social circles, is it just your teammates from football, or your circle expanding, um, just on general on campus, people in your class, whatever? Who have you met that stands out, that you've connected with?
I feel like really just my hall. So here I can show you it real quick because I'm in my dorm right now. But this is my hall. Just my dorm, typical dorm hall.
Yep.
That's my scooter.
All right.
But I feel like most of my friends are pretty much just in that hall. Actually, my friends are in that hall. Like I don't really hang out with the football guys that much. I mainly just hang out with the guys here and just like chill in the dorm and stuff. I don't go out. I'm not really big on that yet, but I have a small circle, but I like that.
All right. How's mom and dad doing?
Mom and dad are great. I was calling my dad for a while last night, cheering, oh, cheering for the Phils.
All right.
I was in my study hall, with my Bryce Harper jersey on and my red October towel, watching the Phillies game and caught that pop fly ball in the top of the ninth to seal the deal. And I stood up and I started waving my flag and I'm getting so hyped and everyone just looking around me, just like, what is this kid doing? And I'm just like, let's go. We're going to the World Series. So yeah, and then I called my dad and that's what I talked to him. So we're trying to get me home and watch one of the games, but looks pretty unlikely.
No, that's okay. We are all rooting for the Fighting Phils.
Right.
We haven't had a world championship in baseball, what, last 20-25 years?
2009.
Yep. And I even though I'm from Ohio, Charlie Manuel is a personal friend of mine from my days.
No way.
I used to be the trainer for many of the Indians, and Charlie Manuel was the skipper back there. So Julio Franco, Mel Hall, Joe Carter, all back those days when I started my strength and conditioning coaching career. I was lucky enough through Julio Franco to be connected with the Indians for a couple of years. So Charlie Manuel is a great person. I mean, who you see him as a coach, he is that person in real life. He still lives in the same neighborhood, hanging with his good friends. But I will tell you, when I saw Bryce Harper hit that home run, shot heard around the world, the Phillies are going to the World Series.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was another time. I was in Sunny Hill, saw him smack that, and I was just like, woo! Let's go.
Hey, from a
But
hometown boy, what do you want to say to the Phillies going into the next phase of the championships?
man, we're red hot, man. Keep it going. Whole city's behind your back. Y'all
All right.
got this. Head up. Let's keep moving.
All right. What do you want to say to your friends and family back home, mom, dad, your classmates, your other teammates that I don't know if you heard from any of your other teammates that are playing for other schools. How's that going?
Oh yeah, I talk to my teammates from Malvern quite often. But that's pretty much it. I mean, season's going for them. They just took a tough loss this week, but I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing to those guys as I am gonna say to any other sports team. Hey man, let's keep moving, keep our heads high, and let's keep winning.
All right. Now, the on your first interview, um, I brought up the fact that your dream is to go to the pros. You corrected me off camera after that, and to tell me that you're more about than just going pros. And I'm going to tell you personally, I've seen it in the eyes of many champions. You got championship eyes, so I know for a fact if that's your desire, you are going to play on the next level. I know for a fact, and it may not be at the school that you're at. You may transfer to go to some place that will appreciate your talents. And you always have to know that go someplace where you're going to be valued not only as an athlete, but as a human being.
Mm.
So, if your coaches are listening to this, they need to change the direction of how they coach. Don't coach, to keep your job because all you're doing is waiting for the day that you're going to get fired. Coach because you want to make an example and build character within young men and send out a good product into the world, not just a student athlete. So, with that said, I'm going to let you go because I know you've got some lifting to do, but there's incoming freshmen and there's teammates that you have or other college students that are going through the same thing that you're going through. I want you to leave them with a little message coming from Stephen Hollander of how to deal with your academics, how to deal with your athletics, and how to deal with your personal life on campus. How do you share that winning attitude or that never giving up attitude with the world? We're going to let you close out this show.
I've got something for you to perfectly respond for that.
Go ahead.
So I had a lot of it was really tough for me starting off, like getting used to all this and staying focused. And a lot of the time I kept thinking to myself, like, oh my God, like, how am I going to keep my spot? Like, how am I going to get better? Like what you were saying, like, you're waiting for the day you get fired, right?
Right.
And I think one thing that I really realize is, hey, man, right now, I'm invested in myself, right? I got to be patient. I got to be calm and I got to stack the days. I got to get better every single day. And the way that I do that is I write. I have a book, I have a notebook, and I write about a couple paragraphs every day, just my thoughts, stuff that's going through my head, just like things to talk about with somebody. And I can write it down in my notebook and just express my feelings. Because then I can go back later and read my notebook, read my feelings, and I'm able to connect more with that. And I think that has been extremely beneficial to me. I think it's been absolutely extremely beneficial to me.
Well, you know something is funny. I got to give you a copy of my book because, believe it or not, from 1973 until present, I have journaled every aspect of every conversation I've had and every single experience. That's the reason why X's and O's came out because of my journal. Probably the smartest thing that you've done is to make notes and take notes. My grandfather always said that. That's the reason why when you look behind me, it says reach one, teach one. So right now you're doing what my grandfather always taught me, reaching out to someone else in order to educate or provide another opportunity for someone else, because there's a lot of kids that enter your situation that don't have strong parents like you do. They don't come from a strong community like you do. They have not connected with their values the way that you do. And they don't have as strong as desires and the willingness in order not to come up short as you do. So, Stephen Hollander, from the day I met you, I've been in the presence of greatness until the day I leave this world. I'm going to be in the presence of greatness. And I hope Stephen Hollander's story, his college life, the real world college life, the unabridged truth of what this experience is, I hope it transcends over to every single college student on every single campus, be it a D1 school, a D2 community college, whatever, because there's no difference. You're an 18, 19-year-old young person trying to be an adult in an adult world. You have responsibilities that you've never had before, and you're on your own. I can't wait to see this come together and the ball to be in your court. And I can't wait to read your book, because that journal is going to turn into the Stephen Hollander story. And I know you're going to do great things. So with that said, you want to say anything special to your friends, mom and dad, before we sign off?
I love them. Love you guys. I miss them.
All right. And there's nothing wrong with being homesick. I've been there. All right. And next time when we have do this interview, part 2, you'll be preparing to come home for the holidays, getting ready for that. And let's see, don't you come home for Thanksgiving? You're not coming. Oh, I forgot, you're a football player. Oh, shoot.
That's the whole point. Is I'm a football player. We're talking about football, Kevin.
I forgot about that. See, it's been a long time. I forgot. Holidays don't apply when you're on the gridiron.
No, sir.
All right.
No, sir. I'll be happy living in here.
Anyway, we'll be talking about how Thanksgiving is on college campus as a football player. Talk about the training table. Hopefully that friends and family. Did you connect with the young lady about getting your brand together?
I have not been able to connect with her yet.
Connect with that, because people are going to want to wear your jersey, and they want to see your brand. You will get a following. So with that said, we're going to wrap up this so the young man can get back to his life on campus at what university are you going to again?
JMU. James Madison University.
I was hoping you were going to say that. James Madison University. We have covered a lot of information. We have peeled back the layers on the personal story of Stephen Hollander. I hope if you like what you've heard, you will share it. Go to RMK Productions and Network on our YouTube page and look for the real world of college life with the Stephen Hollander story. And if you're a college student and you want to share your story and share the real life at your university, please reach out to us at info@rmkproductions.org. Stephen, I appreciate you, and I hope you will adapt the same message that my grandfather gave me. When you get to a position that you can help someone else, do so. Reach one, teach one. But also remember, all right, you gotta help people that are willing to help themselves. Give them a hand, but don't haul them around for the rest of your life. Learn the power of no. So with that said, go back to do your work. Till next time, we're out. We'll fade to black. Thank you, Stephen.